designed for keeping secrets in my head or any space you can find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
Oh my, it is Wednesday, over the hump day. It's time for another edition of Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here, and as always, thanks for tuning in. We have some sports news that you definitely can't get enough of. I am here a little bit after 7:30 in the evening time here, giving you this podcast version of Butch On Sports here. Lovely that you're with us. Tell your friends about Butch On Sports. You can catch me up on Butch On Sports on the Butch On Sports Facebook page there. Yes, you can. And also on Podomatic.com. You can type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com. Let's get to some sports news you definitely can't enough of. The Detroit Tigers are moving and grooving right now here at the old house on Comerica Park there. They're playing the Miami Marlins at this present time. Not knowing what's going on, I'm going to check and see. And right oh, we get a fine picture of Jack Morris and them on the telly there. Detroit is leading 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning there. That's best as I can tell you there on this particular one. Now, one of the pictures was my next story, of course, on today, Wednesday, May the 22nd, the Detroit Tigers and the city of Detroit unveiled a new Willie Horton Drive street sign to honor Detroit Tiger legend and hometown hero Willie Horton at the intersection of Cantfield Street and the John C. Lodge Service Drive. Yes, Willie Horton, Tigers great there, and of course guests such as some of the Tigers, as well as Chris Ilitch, the president and CEO of Ilitch Holdings Incorporated, and the owner of the Detroit Tigers and the Detroit Red Wings, chairman and CEO of the company. And of course, Mayor Mike Duggan was there. Brenda Jones, City Council President, Willie Horton's family members, and a whole heck of a lot of friends were at the corner at Canfield and John C. Lodge to see the unveiling of the street sign of Willie Horton Drive there. That's lovely and well-deserved. Well-deserved. This is a guy who I have known for years in my following of baseball as a young kid who followed Willie Horton tremendously, as well as being able to be excited when I finally met him and to find out that I was playing under the same coach, Mr. Clemens, as Willie Horton was, okay? Then further down the line, and when I took a tour of duty in Portland, Oregon, came back to Detroit and ended up becoming the news guy there, DJ, and whatever job I could find. Willie Horton was always accessible, very friendly, and done a whole heck of a lot of things that I, myself personally, will appreciate very much so dearly there. Well-deserved award and honor to Willie Horton indeed there. Sometime, like I said, get down there and see what a street sign is and take a picture. I will do that when I get some time and effort there. Juwan Howard. Do you know who this guy is? He's a University of Michigan great from Chicago, Illinois, where he was excelled in basketball before he came to the University of Michigan. Well, the University of Michigan baffled and maybe scratching their head on John Beilein's sudden departure to coach. Again, yesterday he was announced as the official coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Juwan Howard came in yesterday as well and took an interview with the University of Michigan. And guess what, boys and girls? It is now complete and it's official. I first heard of the story from Fox News' Dan Miller early this afternoon, and later on, after around about 6:15, University of Michigan made it official that Juwan Howard is now the University of Michigan's coach at his pleasure of the University of Michigan there, which is his alma mater. He succeeds John Beilein, as I mentioned, who left the Wolverines for the Cleveland Cavaliers on May 14. Michigan Athletic Director Wade Manuel chose Howard over Providence coach Ed Cooley. Well, it wasn't a choosing because Ed Cooley was offered an extension by Providence, and he bowed out of the interview session. So really that particular portion is a mute point there because, again, Cooley, although maybe gave permission or told University of Michigan he would interview for it, later called and withdrew his name out of the goodies after Providence extended his contract and gave him a nice little piece of change to stay there as well. Luke Yakich, assistant to Beilein's staff for 2 years, was also considered and he was given also an interview by the University of Michigan as well. Yakich has been a staff member for 2 seasons. Howard and Michigan agreed to, this is the news coming out, to a 5-year contract that will start about $2 million annually. They say we found it somewhat very high integrity, great character, and a coach who has unbelievable knowledge of the game of basketball, Manuel said of Juwan Howard. Juwan has proven himself to be a tremendous leader and a wonderful communication and developer of talent. And many people feel that Juwan Howard might have a hard time indeed to start recruiting again, just as Beilein did, to find those diamond in the rough talent that no one else seemed to feel that they were worth anything. But again, Beilein had a way with those particular players to bring the best out of them. And for the last 6 or 7 years, Michigan has strived to be one of the best doggone good secrets of talent in all of the NCAA in basketball there. So it is complete. Juwan Howard, the new head coach of the University of Michigan. They have not yet, and I'm saying the University of Michigan has divided our attention on when they will officially have Juwan Howard in-house, as he was there here Tuesday. I'm quite sure family members and others who are going to gather, and University of Michigan will take the time to consider the time it needed for Juwan Howard's friends, family, and whatnots to be at the University of Michigan when the official announcement is released, or press conference, I should say. The official announcement has been released. But the press conference for Juwan Howard will be established in front of the general public there. So that is the news for that. That is a done deal. University of Michigan is don't have to look for a head coach for basketball anymore. There's a lot of Patrick Ewing go back to Georgetown, and we talk about Mullins going back to St. John's, and many Stackhouse also. He's coaching now in college basketball. A lot of pro basketball players who have pretty good doggone knowledge of coaching, and I'm still say, Jerry Stackhouse is a coaching extraordinary. He was assistant coach and also coaching the D League there. We got some bright members who know how to deal with kids, okay, and the day's language that some of these student athletes understand in order to get the best out of them. So we'll see how successful they will be down the road a piece there, all those members, and then some that I'm going to kind of look up and do some research about for there. The NFL announced today at the 86th NFL draft, it's going to take place in Cleveland in 2021. Yes, in Cleveland, 2021. That's near Detroit. So you can get in your car and take I-75 and take the Ohio Turnpike to Cleveland. They're going to bring back some fans together with free celebrations, iconic downtown location. It will be the first Energy Stadium, including the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well, on the shores of Lake Erie. The announcement was made today at the annual Spring League meeting in Key Biscayne, Florida, following a review of proposals by the Super Bowl and Major Events Advisory Committee and for ownership. And also they announced the 2023 NFL Draft will take place in Kansas City, which is in a ionic area around Union Station and the National World War I Museum memorials, and will bring together fans to celebrate the anticipated sports event of the year for the NFL, the draft, of course, and the announcement was also made today at the spring meeting in Key Biscayne, Florida, following the review of proposals by the Super Bowl and the Major Events Committee advisory firm there, and also the full ownership. Very decent indeed. Football, a lot of football, a lot of getting arrangements there, getting the set. Of course, the Detroit Lions had OTAs. Still going on today. They'll have a day off tomorrow, Friday, and the holidays before they get back to some more OTAs next week. Matthew Stafford took the time to care. No, let me back that on up there. They will have OTAs tomorrow, on Thursday. Yes, they will have OTAs tomorrow before those OTAs end. And yes, they have the Memorial Day break before they get into July and have some more OTAs. Definitely got that right. Okay. But those OTA means the Lions are getting themselves adjusted, reading the playbooks, getting in shape, getting to meet their coaches. Of course, no contact is being a mission in these particular OTAs, or getting yourself together kind of meetings for the players, ongoing players, which is about 80 plus players in camp, to get themselves together to try to make a team, or the 53-man roster, plus a 10-man taxi squad, as I usually call it, or they call practice squad, human beings going to the team as well, okay? Not on the live field, but again, they're preparing the Lions for the week-to-week grind of being a winning organization and hopefully go to the playoffs, winning a game or two or three, maybe winning the NFL championship and a Super Bowl. That's a dream that we'll continue to dream until we actually see it in motion. Detroit Tigers are leading 2-0 as we talk. Yes, as we speak, 2-0, Detroit Tigers. Daniel Norris again is pitching for the Tigers. Detroit Red Wings and their partners Chevrolet at the Little Caesars Arena surprised more than 500 second grade students from 7 schools within the Detroit Public School Community District with brand new bicycles, helmets, locks, and bells in conjunction with the Detroit Public School Foundation. The new bikes unveiled at Little Caesars Arena celebrated students completing an on-the-road and bicycle safety program that's during their recess time. Starting, in April, The students were practicing riding a bike, learning the eventual road safety information and habits that they should be exercising while riding a bicycle in the city of Detroit or their neighborhoods above. Yes, and during the physical education classes as well, there also was extended that particular class to some of the children during that time in order for those kids to graduate, which is the day they did at Little Caesars Arena with T-shirts on place, with giving helmets and all the other goodies as part of the road and bicycle program, and which is partnered with Chevrolet and the Detroit Red Wings in conjunction with May. May is National Bike Month, in participating in students who believe that they were busing a whole lot of doggone things together. But again, children with bicycles, it's priceless, okay, And then a lot of things that were, and also they had seminars on how to keep your bike, how to lock it up, how not to get your bike stolen. If your bike is stolen, not to take things in your own hand, but how to talk to your parents so they can call the police, get the bike back, as well as putting license on bicycles so they can be identified if they're found by the Detroit Police Department or other people involved in the community at large, so they can get the bike back to the person it belongs to in the first place. One heck of a good program for kids, 500 children, and hopefully, they can expand that program, because there are more children right now who found out about it want a bicycle too. And hopefully maybe other sports teams or organizations as well can somewhat do something to help the kids not be so much just be given something, but learn some honest educational habits that'll help them throughout life in general there. Like I said, they were all busting Little Caesars Arena. These kids simply honored for the completion of their educational course before the Red Wings, and some of the Red Wings were there. Like Luke Waitkowski was there, hammering it up with the kids and whatever. And those children were very enthusiastic. And I got some film sent to me by the Red Wings and some other media conglomerates as well. Very enthusiastic there, and I'll get to some more in a moment there about the Red Wings. Some parents say, well, they don't play no hockey. They don't want. Come on now, boys and girls. These kids know about hockey. Are you exposing them to it? My kid don't play no hockey. Watch a game with them on telly. Hey. Get to know the Red Wing players, coaching staff. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. The NBA revealed the league's all-defensive team, and there are two faces in the first team backcourt. Fresh. Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee's Eric Bledsoe, long among the NBA's best ball hawks, or ball handlers, or ball defenders, has never been on the all-defensive team, but now they are. First team. Congratulations to those two there. Congratulations indeed. Smart got 63 of the first votes, appeared on 82 of the 100 ballots of the group sports writers and broadcasters selected by the league's office, and Bledsoe got 36. Okay. Others joining the first team defensive team was Utah Jazz's Rudy Gobert, Oklahoma City Thunder's forward Paul George, which he has always been one of the best defenders in the NBA, and the Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo. Poe. I got that squared away. Yes, indeed, they are on that team. And if you didn't see the game yesterday on the television, Toronto has now tied up the series now tied up the series with the Milwaukee Bucks as they go back to Milwaukee, tied 2-2. So there's going to be a dogfight there. Milwaukee did not look good yesterday, and Toronto looked good on the strength of their bench, played outstanding, and that's the Toronto I'm used to seeing throughout the season, where their bench hold a lot of weight for that team's success of this year, and it hadn't showed it in the playoffs. Ibaka, Van Fleet, and other people, Powell, on that particular team, who was standard ammunition for Toronto Raptors there during the season, and had not showed itself throughout the playoffs, but they showed up yesterday and beat down Milwaukee Bucks. I'm quite sure they're going to get this up together and make it a series. It's the best 2 out of 3 now for the chance to go to the NBA Finals to play. Yes, I'm telling you now, the people, someone hate them, but I love them. The Golden State Warriors, soon to be called maybe the San Francisco Warriors. Who knows? I'm just saying. They swept the Portland Trail Blazers in their particular Western Conference Finals there. So they're going to get a lot of rest for 3 games. That's about a week before they'll see any action on the practice ground. And that gives enough time for their injuries and the injured players on their team to get themselves together. I just can't wait to see when the rosters come out for the championship, who's going to be on there. And I'm going to tell you now, there are going to be some people on that roster who got enough rest during the injury portion of their careers on their bench during this season. Is going to help Golden State get their 4th championship in 5 years. I do believe that. Believe in the Shield, too, which no longer exists anymore. Speaking of wrestling there, I had a great whiff of the Money in the Bank thing, and I saw Brock Lesnar come back, and on both shows there, SmackDown and Raw. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised that you don't see Brock Lesnar on SmackDown a lot more. As you know, there's some sweeping changes that's going to be made, and you can tell because of the script writing for both Raw and SmackDown has gotten a lot better, and I saw that in the Money in the Bank. Bailey coming out there and getting the Money in the Bank victory, and then coming out there to be the women's champion of SmackDown. Yep, I saw it all. Of course, the AEW, which is going to be a new alliance, which, by the way, is going to be fully supported by Turner Broadcasting. So, by the way, TNT and also TBS will be back in the show and wrestling soon, very, very soon. So you'll get to see the Cody Rhodes, and all the other wrestlers coming on, Goldust, and a whole lot of other wrestlers that you have not seen or who have left the WWE on that particular wrestling ensemble there. And finally there, legendary wrestler Ric Flair was released from the hospital today, 6 days after he initially admitted to that he had some heart problems and was placed in the hospital for corrections. He was rolled out the hospital in a wheelchair. Of course, we all do when we're rolled out that hospital by his wife. However, Flair confirmed that to himself on various social medias that the Nate is home, is going home. He said thank you to all the incredible staff, doctors at the Net Medical Facility again. He's so thankful for his family, friends, and fans, all who he loved. And in time of life, you never can take it for granted. He said he'll be back, wooing it up in no time at all. That's Ric Flair. And that's good to hear that he's doing okay and getting on the men very, very quickly indeed. That is excellent news here. Excellent news. I tell you, nothing gets me off more than great news. Speaking of great news, Detroit Tigers are leading 2-0 in the bottom of the third inning. What it'll be at the end of the game, I have no idea. But I tell you one thing, Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Again, you can check out Butch On Sports on their Facebook page, Butch On Sports, and also at Podomatic.com. Type in SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.Podomatic.com for the performance of the podcast today, as well as many others that you had not listened to in the past. You can also check out the podcast on The Game. Yes, sir, we had a show Monday, and was very feisty indeed here. Very feisty, okay? We will not be on the air on The Game this Monday because of the Memorial Day weekend, but you bet your bottom dollar we'll be back the week after in June, okay? June the 3rd, I do believe is the date. We'll be back on The Game. You can catch, they have a website, thegameshow.com, thegamesportshow.com, okay? You can get this broadcast of Butch On Sports again with it indeed. I'm out of here, boys and girls. Y'all have a good time during the week. We'll be back hopefully on Friday there to do some more Butch On Sports there and give you some sports news you can't get enough of. Have a great evening.